Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the episode. I am so excited to discuss this topic with you today because it is so near and dear to my heart. And my experience with going celibate and being intentionally single for the past year has literally transformed my life. Okay, it has literally transformed my life. So I'm so excited to really share that with you today. And yeah, I hope everyone is all well, and I hope that you really gain some value and some insight from this video or this episode if you're streaming on Spotify. I just also want to disclose as well, before I get into this, that these are my own personal views and my own personal opinions on dating, casual sex, hooking up, relationships. And at the end of the day, you do what makes you feel empowered, you do what makes you feel liberated, but this is what makes me feel empowered and liberated as a woman. So I just want to disclose that as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna start with my own story with casual sex and relationships. So I started seriously dating when I was 18, and from the age of 18 all the way through to 22, I was essentially dating someone the whole time, except there was one period where I had like 6 months off and I went celibate, and that was also really healing for me at that time. But apart from that, I was constantly seeing someone, constantly talking to someone, constantly dating. When I was in college and I was a bit younger, I partook in a lot of casual sex as well, which at that time it felt empowering to me, it felt liberating. But now looking back at that, I can see that it was actually like a mode for me to seek validation from others. So having that like intense casual sex and like physical affection with someone else was genuinely just my inner child and the wounded parts of me craving some sense of validation and value, mainly from men. So yeah, I partook in like a lot of casual sex. I was involved in so many toxic relationships because I was toxic, and therefore I was attracting people that were also toxic. I believed on a subconscious level that I deserved these toxic relationships, so that is what I attracted, and I had to go through those experiences to heal and to learn and to grow. But essentially what took me to celibacy and singlehood and like really intentionally committing to this for a year was following a stream of unhealthy relationships that I had in 2022 and 2021. So essentially I had a few relationships that were just like very traumatic to me in many ways and very unhealthy, very toxic. And I essentially got to this point with myself where like my intuition was literally screaming at me. Like my intuition was literally screaming at me. She was like, you need to be alone. Like you need to be alone and you need to heal and you need to put yourself first. Because essentially what I was doing is I was using sex and I was using relationships as a way to avoid my own needs. I was also very codependent in these relationships as well. I'd want to spend all my time with this person, and it was essentially a way to numb myself and avoid the pain that was within me. And because I had experienced so many like toxic relationships, like one after another, obviously those experiences were very painful for me, but what I chose to do to protect myself was to literally just avoid the pain and disassociate and switch off. And I became very desensitized to like the things that I experienced and the way that people had treated me and also the way that I had treated other people. So I had essentially like used relationships for years and years and years to just kind of like get over the past person. So I'd get in a relationship, it would end, and then I'd instantly be looking for the next person, and then it would be really intense and it would go really fast, and then it would crash, and then it would burn, and it would be really painful, and then I would do it again, I would do it again, I would do it again, because what I was essentially doing was neglecting myself. Every single time I was going back into this toxic cycle, I was saying this is what I deserve, and I was neglecting myself, I was neglecting my needs. So basically the neglect was just building up and building up and building up. The pain was building up and building up and building up. So it got harder and harder for me to actually go inwards and sit with myself and become single, because it took a lot of self-forgiveness, like for me to actually For me to then and actually go and sit with myself and go inward, I would have to face all the ways that I dishonored myself. I would have to face all of the ways that I attracted partners into my life that did not respect me, did not value me, and therefore the ways that I did not respect and value myself. And for me, that literally felt so hard and icky and uncomfortable, and I was just like, oh my god, like I cannot bear to sit with the pain that I have caused myself and work through that and forgive myself. So that is why I ignored it for so long and so long and so long. But I essentially got to this point, whereas in the last relationship that I was in, that was actually like relatively healthy, and the person that I was with was like so lovely and so kind and so caring and made me feel really safe, which is something that I've never had in a relationship before. But obviously I hadn't processed everything else from the past that had gone on, so I just got to this point where like I felt like every single day I was battling with myself. Like I was in this internal conflict with myself where I was just ignoring my intuition, and my intuition was literally screaming at me. She was literally like, get the fuck out of this relationship and just be single. Like literally be single. It is what you need for your health. It is what you need for your healing and your growth and your transformation. You cannot continue this pattern anymore. Like you physically literally cannot. So that is when I chose to go single, and I essentially moved back to my hometown, which was obviously like a really healing way to do that as well, because I had a lot of like toxic relationships where I lived in Bristol, and I feel like just like moving home, it was definitely like a new start for me, and it kind of enabled me to like break that pattern and break that cycle a little bit more easily. And that is when I chose to go celibate as well. So I just kind of want to share with you like the main lessons that I have learned from experiencing celibacy and being celibate. So I would say the first thing that I have really learned and come to understand is that sex is a sacred energy exchange. So every single person that you are having sex with, you are exchanging energy with that person. So this is why it is so important that you are conscious and aware of who you are having sex with, because you are literally exchanging energy. And there are so many times where I was just like partaking in a lot of casual sex, and I would literally feel so drained. Like I would feel so drained and shit after having sex with that individual, because my energy was literally being taken from me and I was taking on their energy, and it wasn't necessarily good energy. So one thing that I have learned is that it is so important to know the person that you are having sex with and you are having that sacred energy exchange with. And personally for me now, I'm like, okay, I need to know that you are working on yourself, you are working on your energy, you are taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So when we're having an energetic exchange, it's an exchange of high energy, it's an exchange of pure energy, it's an exchange of conscious energy. I could not be mixing my energy with people that are just pushing all their shit to a side and pushing it down and avoiding and eating shit and not taking care of themselves, because I'm going to embody that energy and this is my vessel, and I respect my vessel and I honor my vessel. So that is one thing that really, really stood out to me. Like I really came to understand the truth in the fact that it is a sacred energy exchange when you are having sex with someone. The second thing that I learned as well, or I'd say I'm also embodied, was just like extremely high standards and values. And I really got clear on what my values were, because before this, I wasn't even dating and thinking about values. I didn't even know what my values were. Like I was literally just walking around and I was just like, okay, like this person's gonna satisfy the wound that I have for like intense codependency and validation. Like let me just do that. So like I was essentially viewing my potential partners through the lens of my inner wounded child. Whereas now I view potential partners through the present, healed, empowered goddess version of myself, who I am right now. So what this would look like for me in the past is that I would choose people and how they would make me feel in the moment, what instant gratification, satisfaction, validation they could give me in that moment. Whereas now I choose to place my energy in potential partners and date people based on their values, based on their energy, based on their own standards, their own boundaries. Are they taking care of themselves on a holistic level? Do they have goals? Are they striving towards something? Like these are non-negotiables for me now, and it it really took me being single and being celibate and taking a step back and filling up my own cup for me to become so clear on my values, because now I'm not looking for someone else to fill up my cup. And when you are looking for someone else to fill up your cup, that is when your standards drop. That's when your standards drop, because you don't actually care what the person's values are. You don't actually care what the person's standards or boundaries are. All you care about is that person giving you that instant gratification in that moment and giving you that validation that your inner wounded child needs so much. And the thing is, they don't even actually need it from that person. They actually need it from you. They actually are craving it from you. And this is why when you are choosing your partners and you are jumping from partner to partner based on that instant validation, that instant gratification, you will never feel satisfied. And 99% of the time, you will just keep on repeating these toxic cycles where you can't seem to maintain a healthy, boundaried, expansive relationship. Like, I only want to be with people that like literally inspire me so much. Like, I want to be with someone where every single day I wake up and I'm like, you inspire me so much to be a better person. I won't let my standards slip for myself, and I won't let my standards slip for you either. Like, that is my intention, and I'm not willing to settle. So I say that is the second thing, like the main thing that I've really come to understand. I would say the main final thing that I've really come to understand and learn from being single, from being celibate, and taking the time to be with myself is that every single relationship is a mirror. And I know it is so cliche, guys. I know we literally hear it all the time. Everyone's like, everything's a mirror. It's just being like reflected back to you what's inside of you. But it is so fucking true. And sometimes you really need to take a step back and be with yourself to integrate the experiences that you have had in your relationships. Okay, it's not literally like you break up with someone, you maybe process it for like a couple of weeks and then you're like, I'm good to go. Like, sometimes integration takes like years or like 6 months, and that is what happened in my situation. Like, that is what happened for me. Like, it wasn't just this quick thing where like I fully understood the lesson, I fully understood the cycle, I fully understood everything I needed to learn and integrate. Like, it literally took me a whole year to learn from some of these relationships, and I'm still even learning. Like, sometimes if I feel called to reflect and go back, there are still things that I am learning from my past relationships. So that is another really important thing to understand, is that it takes time to integrate lessons from past relationships. And that is why I just do not agree with rebounds in any sense. I do not agree with rebounds in any sense. And even if someone says, okay, like I was mentally switched off in the relationship for so long, but it's like, you were still sharing a bed with that person. You were still having sex with that person. You were still exchanging energy with that person. So even if on a mental level, on a conscious level, you think like, I'm over this person, I'm switched off, I'm done, like energetically in your body, in your soul, in your subconscious, that person is still there. So all you are doing by rebounding and jumping to the next person is you are pushing that down and you are numbing it. It takes time to integrate. It takes time to cleanse your energy, cleanse your body, come back to yourself, release resentment, step into forgiveness. And then that is when I believe that you are truly ready to date again. You're truly ready to open yourself back up again. This is from personal experience as well. Like, there are times where like I would literally get into a rebound and then I would think, oh, like I don't even care about my ex, like I'm so over it, I feel so numb to it. Like, it was literally like a numbing, a disassociation, like I have no feelings towards them. Like, that is not normal. Like, if you break up with someone and you have a disassociation towards them and a numbing of feelings, it doesn't mean that you have processed it. It means that it's been pushed down, it's been pushed to the side. It means that it's still there. And so that's a really key sign. If you genuinely break up with someone, you go into a rebound and you feel numb to that person, I can assure you, as soon as you break up with that person, you end things with that person, those feelings will come back up as well. It will all rise to the surface because it will trigger you. And the pain you feel from this current person will trigger the pain that you felt from the old relationship, because you never felt the old relationship. You never processed it. You never integrated it. So that is why I think it is so integral to take time for yourself. Like, if you are truly truly filling up your own cup and you are truly taking care of yourself, then why would you feel the need to jump into another relationship so quickly? Like, please, if you are actually acknowledging your feelings and what you're going through, why would you feel the need to do that? I don't see any valid reason why. And this is coming from someone that was literally a serial dater. Like, I was literally a serial dater. Like, this is coming from someone that could not stay single for 2 minutes. And I now know the reason why I was doing that is because I was avoiding my own pain and suffering from all the relationships. And another thing that I've really learned as well is to exert my boundaries and be very selective with my energy. So I intentionally went celibate in March 2023. And guys, I had one little slip up, but like, I'm still saying it's a year because, you know, like, it was just one little slip up. But essentially, like, within this moment, this was in like summer 2023, and this revealed to me that I was not boundaried enough, because the amount of times that I have not wanted to have sex with someone, but I have gone and done it anyway because I felt scared to express myself and to express my truth and be like, you know what, I actually like don't want to have sex with you right now. Like, the amount of times that has happened to me, and now I understand that is because of trauma, that is because of past experiences where I felt like I couldn't speak up and I couldn't express my truth. And I think what it's also come down to as well for me is this feeling like if I say no to this person, they're not going to want anything to do with me, because if I'm not offering up my energy, I'm not offering up sex with them, then what is my value? And this is definitely something I've felt within my relationships. This is definitely something I've felt within my experiences with men, more so than women. But I've definitely felt this pressure of like, oh my God, if I don't have sex with this person, like, they're going to think I'm boring, or they're not going to want to see me again. And when I had my little celibacy slip up in summer 2023, that is what that experience reflected to me. That experience reflected to me, okay, Caitlin, like, you really need to be serious with this, because you are clearly not boundaried enough to express yourself and to be like, I actually don't want to have sex right now. So that was another really big thing I learned as well, is I realized that I was actually just like offering up my energy and offering up sex because I felt like it was the only way that I could truly like reflect. I felt like it was the only way that like someone could actually gain value from me, or see me as like a valuable individual. And now I'm at the point, because I've taken so much time with myself and my energy, like, I'm extremely clear on my boundaries. Like, I will not have sex with someone until like I truly know them, on a spiritual, emotional, physical level. Like, I want to know the individual I am having a sacred energy exchange with. So that's another thing that I learned as well. But yeah, I would say those are probably the main things that I've kind of learnt and integrated so far from my celibacy and my singlehood era. And I'm really just starting to like dip my toes in dating again, and it feels fucking exciting. Like, it actually feels exciting and it actually feels fun, because I'm not carrying this big backpack of shit from all of my past relationships anymore. Like, before, I was just carrying like these triggers, these resentments, these pains from all of these past relationships, and just bringing them into my dating life, bringing them into my relationships. Like, now I feel so convicted and confident and full within myself, whole within myself. Like, I can genuinely go into dating and I can feel excited about it, because it's like, I don't need you to fill up my cup, I don't need you to validate me, I don't need you to like do those things for me, because I'm doing those things for myself. And what that does is that removes that lens of a wounded inner child that is just like scrambling for validation, scrambling for affection, and it allows me to date from my empowered, embodied goddess self that has strong boundaries, has high standards, has firm values. Because I will not stray from those things, because those are my divine compass. So those are literally there to guide me through dating now. So it's not something that I'm scared of. It's not something that I'm going to settle in, because why do I need to? I take care of myself. I've honored myself. I've filled up my own cup. So why would I sacrifice my values, my boundaries, and my standards for another individual? Like, no. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and this video. For anyone that is experiencing celibacy and singlehood at the moment or is curious about it, I'm so fucking proud of you. And if you are curious about it, follow that intuitive nudge, because nothing bad is going to come from you putting yourself first. Nothing bad is going to come from you taking a year, 6 months, however long you want, to literally just pour into your own cup. Because when you pour into your own cup and you fill yourself up and you fill yourself up with love, every single thing in your environment, in your external reality, will reflect that, okay? So you will never be at a loss by taking the time to be single, by taking the time to be celibate. All it's going to do is it's going to up level you, it's going to expand you, and it's going to empower you, okay? So yeah, that is everything I wanted to share today, and I'm gonna go on a walk now, so bye.